Brittany said she been on the form.
I'll check on it. I'll let
Call it meeting
Yes, sir.
to order.
It's the president.
It's time to get going. It's time to get going. You got it. Okay. Time to get going. All right. Roll call, please.
All right, Commissioner Hopkins.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Present.
Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Young.
Here.
Commissioner Burrell.
Here.
Commissioner Cawthorn.
Present.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Present.
Commissioner Talaferro.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Atkins.
Here.
Commissioner Chavez. Commissioner Lazarus.
Here.
Commissioner Epperson.
Here.
All right, you have 10 of 12 present, and that is a quorum.
All right, I will ask Commissioner Gage Watts to lead us in the invocation and Commissioner Talaferro to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And will everyone please stand?
Please bow your heads. Let us pray. God, how we humbly come before your throne of grace and mercy, Lord, thanking you, God, for another day. God, we thank you, Father God, for the assembly of this meeting, oh God, and we ask that you will give us the wisdom and the direction, Father God, to make the best decisions for the citizens of Caddo Parish. God, we pause right now, God, and ask you, Father God, for your comforting hand to be upon the family, Father God, of the tragedy that happened early this morning, oh God. Bless them and keep them, Lord, is our prayer. God, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All in attendance, face the flag. Place your right hand over your heart, civilians, please. And military members retired may render a traditional hand salute as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Gage Watts and Commissioner Talaferro. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
That brings us to agenda additions. I'm not aware of any agenda additions at this time unless you have received any requests for any.
I have.
You have not? Okay, great. That brings us to citizens' comments, where citizens are asked to either fill out a comment card online or in the chamber foyer before the meeting and return it to either the clerk or the president. I believe I have submitted about 4 requests that I received. And if there is anybody else who would like to sign up, we do have forms in the foyer, and you can return them right here.
Okay.
Comments are limited to 3 minutes. I apologize, I forgot to mention that.
Right. The first one is Ms. Omari Hossein. Hers is a little different. It's public comments, but it's also a presentation that I received in her behalf when I was down in Monroe, Louisiana, with the organization called Louisiana Rise. Ms. Omar has been working with Black Voters Matter throughout the state of Louisiana, and the Louisiana Rise organization gave her a presentation. She wasn't able to be there because basically it was a bad weather event. But I was there knowing that she also represents Caddo Parish. I accepted this in her behalf. And I wanted to make sure that she got it like she should for her hard work. It's a print. I would hold that side. It's a print of some famous leaders that you should all recognize. And I think everybody can see it. Well, we'll turn this way too, so the audience can see it as well. But she did receive this as an award for her hard work for Black Voters Matter. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you. It's definitely an honor to receive a print with those hard hitters on there. I hope that my work with Black Voters Matter across the state and ASAP is just a drop in the bucket of those heroes. I wish I saw at least one woman, Ella Jo Baker, on there, because I do believe that our power is not necessarily in our oil and gas or even in our sugar cane. It's in the people of this state, no matter who you are, whatever your identity is. And so as we head through elections and redistricting and other work, I just want to lift up every person in the city of Shreveport, in the parish of Caddo, in the state of Louisiana. So again, thank you, Commission, for allowing this to be presented during your meeting. Have a wonderful day.
All right, next one would be Commissioner Ken Epperson Sr.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand before you today as a board member of the Timberline Homeowners Association Incorporated, also as one of the many signatories on petition opposing zoning case 2011P, which was the ruling of the Metropolitan Planning Commission was overturned by the Caddo Parish Commission on February the 4th, 2021. Also representing persons that had signatures on that petition opposing 2011-P, Western Hills Village, Western Hills Estate, West Peak Association, Deer Creek Subdivision, Colonia Subdivision. I respectfully direct this request to the Caddo Parish Legal Department as well as the Metropolitan Planning Commission Administration. Based upon the amount of discussion that transpired on Monday, November the 1st, 2021 in our work session relative to the status of zoning case 2011-P, I respectfully ask for the following information from the Caddo Parish Commission Legal Department. Whatever information that can be publicly submitted, please submit that to me in writing by 2:00 p.m. Monday, November the 8th. Also to the Metropolitan Planning Commission Administration, whatever information that transpired relative to our discussion in the work session on Monday, November the 1st, 2021, relative to zoning case 2011-P, I request that you submit whatever the status is based upon your organization to me in writing by Monday, November the 8th, 2:00 p.m. Reason being, we are getting ready for the newsletters to be disseminated in those respective neighborhoods, and I want to make sure that information is factual and consistent and in writing where there won't be any misunderstanding as to where we are relative to that case. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Epperson. President Johnson had to step out for a minute, so I will try to facilitate in his absence. Our next citizen's comment comes from Alex T. Ray.
Good afternoon. I want to start off by saying I'm excited to be here today to present a plaque to some great men here in Shreveport. Many of you all know dads on duty. I wanted to present a plaque to them today. I usually put on the event each year of a Father's Day 5K run and walk, and I wanted to come here just to show my appreciation for what they're doing, because I was thinking, you know, there are a lot of things that take place here in Shreveport, but God used something to put Shreveport on the map. 58 million views. Shreveport got recognized by what Dads on Duty did. So I just wanted to present a plaque and stand on behalf of Southern Hills community for what has taken place at Southwood, and just say a few words for Mario Chavez. He had a few words in his absence. He's not here today, but I just want to say these words that he wanted to say to the Dads on Duty. He said, "It is always easy to stand on the sidelines and point fingers at others and proclaim what they are not doing or demanding someone do something. But it is a refreshing sight to see a group of men stand up and say we are not waiting for anyone else. We are going to be in a catalyst to spark the change in our city and in our world. That is exactly what the Dads on Duty did for a school in the midst of a crisis. By being present, available, and caring, they not only changed the atmosphere of a high school, but in a few short weeks inspired a nation. My hat's off to each and every father that has decided to stand in the gap and be a light in our troubled world. May the inspiration you have been to all of us not stop with Southwood, but help us bring revival and values back to every school in our parish, our state, our country. Thank you, Dads on Duty, Commissioner Mario Chavez. So I just want to see if the Dads on Duty can come up so I can present this plaque to them. And I want to thank you all for your time, because I just want to highlight what has taken place, because like I said before, anything could have took place here in Shreveport to put Shreveport on the map, but he used fathers. And I'm glad that this has taken place. So I just want to present this plaque here. It says, On a Mission LLC, Southern Hills Community presents Above and Beyond Award presented to Dads on Duty. So if you guys can give them a hand clap for what they did. Take a picture right quick. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right.
We don't have an opportunity.
How everybody doing?
Well, y'all gonna come back up in a few
Okay,
minutes.
okay,
So
okay.
You want to save it?
yeah,
Okay.
that was just a visitor's citizen comment. So we'll have opportunity to speak. So when we do the resolution, last public comment card I have is Kenneth Crett.
And Mr. Kraft did just alert us that he had to go put some money in his parking meter, and that he will be right back. So I don't know if you want to come back to him in a minute, or
We'll put him at the end. I like to be efficient. We got a lot of people here, so don't want to waste people's time. I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules, to move up, because we have so many people here on some of these special resolutions. The Dads on Duty, Alan Clark, Parish LaCour. Is there any other special resolutions?
Ms. Snell?
Snell here?
Is Ms. Snell here?
I see you. Is Ms. Snell here?
there she is.
Okay. And Ms. Snell.
I second it.
Okay, Kenneth Crawford, you can come up. You got 3 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President, members of the commission, Dr. Wilson. Go Braves. My oldest and youngest son love the Braves, so I'm saying this for them. I'm hopeful that the commission at some point in our juvenile justice subcommittee should be meeting soon. And at some point, maybe next year, there will be an election, hopefully, to fund the annual deficit. But whenever there's a parish-wide election on any topic, let's add in those 2 recommended charter changes from several months ago. The charter doesn't require a time limit when a committee recommends changes to the parish charter, but certainly at some point the voters have opportunity to vote for or against those 2 proposals that we made. And the elections, I was so glad to see President Johnson with the young lady. And all voters matter in my mind, black, white, and I'm a voterholic. The election, originally October 9th, now November 13th, was my 199th. The December 11th election is my 200th election. And just kind of remember a couple that strike me as
unusual, because tomorrow, 16 years ago, was Smelly Stilly. Second Amendment out of 14 state amendments, November 5th of '02. It might have been 19 years. It was way back. It was November 5th. And then the odd thing for a guy with numbers on the brain and Asperger's is my 40th election at which I voted was 41 years ago today, when the 40th president beat President Jimmy Carter. So my 40th election was the 40th president, and if you sum those, you get 80, and it was in 1980. So these are the type of afflictions I have, which I like to share with y'all. The final thing I want to say is, I think 2022 is going to be a whole lot better overall. Pandemic's tamping down, numbers are coming down. Here we are. I wear this by choice. Am I required to wear this still in here? Because I will, because I choose. But so things are getting better in all the areas of hospitals and deaths and children 5 to 11. 2 grandsons got a shot yesterday. They're in that 5 to 11 grade age group, and that makes me feel good, just to know that they got the shot. And I appreciate what y'all are doing. And I'm sorry for the Astros fans, but that's the way it goes.
All right, thank you. While we get ready for the first proclamation, resolution, I would like to recognize our substitute fire chief of Shreveport, J.P. Lane. How you doing? So we're ready for Ms. Snell.
Caddo Parish, school board.
Where? I don't see it.
Mr. Nations.
Tony Nations.
Tony Nation,
Oh,
right there.
I also like to recognize Mr. Tony Nations with the Caddo Parish School Board.
Hey, Mr. Chair, if it pleases you, is it okay to recognize Mr. Lane as the interim fire chief? I don't know where this phrase substitute comes from.
Well, I think that's the phrase they use, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thanks.
What my choice is, they choice of words. Okay, we're ready, Jim.
Okay.
Everyone please stand.
And just, I heard the motion from Commissioner
Move for
Epperson.
adoption of the proclamation of Ms. Shirley Simmons Snell.
Second.
Great, just wanted to make sure I heard a second.
Yeah.
All right, I'll begin. The resolution of recognition to Shirley Simmons Snell. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission is always pleased to recognize and honor those sons and daughters of Caddo Parish who have gone forth to gain singular and outstanding personal achievements, and in doing so reflect favorably and positively upon their home community. And whereas Miss Shirley Simmons Snell, a Shreveport native and graduate of Northwestern State University, who's achieved tremendous success throughout her softball career, beginning in the Amateur Softball Association, where she was the 6th person and first slow pitch player to be inducted into the ASA Softball Hall of Fame in 2013, after a career that included 5 All-American titles, competing in the national championships 6 times, home run champion in 1994 and 2001, tournament MVP in 1996, batting champion in 1994, and included notable feats such as her 1998 record-setting home run during the Women's Class B Slow Pitch National Championship game, when she hit a home run at 350 feet, becoming the first woman to hit a ball that distance at the Bloomington Complex. Whereas Snell's record of success didn't slow down as she transitioned her career into the Senior Softball USA, where she continued to blaze a path of success that included 5 straight World Masters Championships with her team, the Dream Girls, 5 straight Triple Grand Slam titles, 2 batting titles in the Tournament of Champions, a 2009 Women's World Series Championship with the Kinder Sharks, and a consistent path of first places in senior softball and SPA softball with the Dream Girls from 2013 through 2019, being named all tournaments several times and selected as the 2017 MVP. And whereas Snell's distinguished career has been rightfully honored with a 2nd Hall of Fame induction, this time into the National Senior Softball Hall of Fame, where she was inducted earlier this month in Las Vegas, Nevada. Terry Hennessy, CEO of Senior Softball USA, says in her nomination letter of Snell, she's a key impact player on the Dream Girls' first 50 women's Major Plus team. She's played the hot corner at third base and played down in age for the past 5 years, which is a clear indication of the depth of her talent as a fielder and hitter. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission in legal and regular session on this 4th day of November 2021 that it does hereby extend its most sincere and heartfelt expressions of recognition and appreciation to Miss Shirley Simmons Snell for her praiseworthy achievements and for representing Caddo Parish so elegantly and admirably throughout her consistently impressive softball career, and especially upon her induction into her second Hall of Fame, the National Senior Softball Hall of Fame. We ask all Caddo citizens to join us in our recognition and celebration of Miss Snell's talents and accomplishments which have brought pride to our community.
You may be seated.
I didn't know Shirley had,
At this time, at this time, some words from Mr. Patrick Wesley, our Parks and Recreation Director, and then Ms. Snell.
Well, you heard all the accolades. Shirley is the Michael Jordan of amateur softball in this area. She's received every award, national and regional, that you can have. 2 Hall of Famers, inductees. That says it all. Been knowing Shirley for a long time. She's been very instrumental in the development of youth as well as women's and adult softball in this community. And we're going to be pulling her, spending some time with her to see how she can help the Parks and Recreation develop additional youth programs here with us. So we look forward to it. Shirley, congratulations. Job well done.
First of all, I want to give an honor to God for letting me be here. I mean, it's an honor to be here with the Caddo Parish and to recognize me. I mean, I am overwhelmed of this dedication and plus what I have received and accomplished through my lifetime. I am still playing, and it's God will when I stop. So if anybody or any child that need any help in working in the softball field, I wouldn't mind to volunteer to help. So it's an honor for me and a pleasure to be here, for my family to attend, my softball friends that showed up for this gathering, and I'm just happy. I am very excited, but plus I am the USA Commissioner for the city of Shreveport, Division 1. So anybody, like I said, anybody need any help or anything, sports equipment, I always try to give back to the kids that unfortunate to be able to buy anything. So that's just my blessing. And I thank y'all for letting me come this day for this opportunity. Thank you.
The ones that came with you, they would like to stand.
Judy, Janice, Flo, Mary already standing.
Get a picture of all
my
of them.
sister, my nephew, my niece, all y'all standing.
I heard the commissioner stand. Okay, indeed, it's a blessing. This is just one of many, many positive things that's happening in Caddo Parish. Not only in sports, but there are numerous things that are overwhelmingly positive that's happening in Caddo Parish. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Ms. Snell, Ms. Snell. Ms. Snell, come back to the podium. Just need to come back to the podium.
He says, I got things to do.
You left too soon. Got some commissioners that want to talk, at least one. Commissioner Burrell?
Oh, Jesus. I see you on the softball field for sickle cell.
Well, probably the last 25 years, I think, that I've been chairing the sickle cell softball team. Shirley has been a staple for that program. We've raised more money with her assistance than probably any other time. I wasn't sure at first how to take Shirley, because when I came up, I said, well, I'm the chairman. She said, I don't care. So that was my first introduction to Shirley. So, softball is her love, and she's been there, and this year she helped us to get the governor's games here under the senior division, where Governor Edwards did a video for us to announce the governor's game in association with the sickle cell softball tournament, which has been around now, 43 years?
Correct.
I know 25 of that I've chaired. So it's been a pleasure, Shirley. Ken slipped that one in on me. I would have definitely loved to co-sponsor that with him, because I know what impact you've made on Shreveport and on softball. Thanks again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Thank you now, Ms. Snell. You may now.
I'm dismissed?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we need to vote on the acceptance of the special resolution.
All right, that motion carries with 7 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. That brings us to the next item, I believe. Let's see, there was a...
Be dads on duty.
I think the next one we have is dads on duty,
Yes.
correct?
Move to adopt.
Second.
We can go ahead and vote and get that one out the way.
Dad's on duty?
Dads on duty. Would everyone please stand again?
Who was the second on that one, please?
Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you.
Moved by the chair and second.
And that motion carries with 7 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. Would you like me to go ahead and read the resolution? Yes. All right, resolution of recognition and appreciation to dads on duty. Whereas the health and safety of all Caddo Parish citizens is important, especially our youth as they seek to learn the skills necessary for success. And whereas Southwood High School faced a challenging situation as violence interfered with the school's operations, culminating in 23 students being arrested related to fights on campus over a span of 3 days. Whereas community members and Southwood leadership knew that this behavior was not indicative of the best that its students had within them, and the idea of dads on duty emerged as a way to bring back the peace and allow students to thrive by providing a sense of safety. And whereas Dads on Duty was established with 40 fathers who would patrol the school in shifts, and since the inception of this program, there have been no more incidents of violence. And whereas this dedicated group of positive male role models, the Dads on Duty, know the importance of keeping order with high expectations and a stern look from a confident, supportive role model, as well as maintaining comfort, modeling tolerance, perspective, and levity through humor, and have been featured in news stories, both local and national, for their efforts to illustrate the benefit that caring father figures can have in high schools, as well as providing an example of how community leaders and school officials can work together to find innovative and creative solutions to help those they serve. And whereas Dads on Duty has helped increase participation and instilled a sense of confidence that benefits students and staff and helps to create a sense of safety that has been inspiring institutions across the country. After more than 50 million views of the Dads on Duty story on CBS Evening News, dozens of school districts across the country have reached out to learn how to implement similar programs. And the Dads on Duty, along with Southwood Principal Dr. Kim Pendleton, will be featured panelists for a 1-hour session entitled Dads Step Up to Stop School Violence, Lessons Learned, during the 5th National Student Safety and Security Conference, which will be held November 17th to 19th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission, meeting in legal and regular session this 4th day of November 2021, that it does hereby commend and thank Dads on Duty for their inspiring and meaningful work and caring, strong spirits, and wishes them continued success while encouraging all Caddo citizens to support such positive initiatives as this.
Thank you.
Everyone may be seated now. I want to say that we're definitely proud of these men. Jeff, we're gonna need 5 more certificates. I want each one of them. I want each one of them to have one. Very proud of these young men of going and taking the initiative, not to ask anybody, basically to say, hey, we got to make a difference, and to do that, and now looking to expand that to not only just at Southwood, and not only just Caddo Parish, but throughout the state and throughout the United States. And they're basically on tour right now. So luckily that we had time for them to come down to receive this, but they are very busy right now. So Zach, and he's a Johnson as well, but we're not related, but he got a good last name, Johnson.
How's everyone doing?
Great.
We started this mission with God first.
That's right.
And this mission won't stop anytime soon. One school at a time. Get the right people set in place, and we're gonna reach these kids. We're gonna get the kids back. We're gonna get back to where it was when we was growing up. It's out of control. But if you can reach them with the right approach,
That's right.
you win. Because God watching our back. And I'm going 150%. They got us. So we're just going to teach everybody the criteria of it, and we going for it. It's going to start with Caddo Parish, reaching all our schools, and then we can move through the state, and then we can reach the world. Right here from Shreveport, Louisiana. This the route right here. So the whole world knows what Shreveport, Louisiana is now.
Okay.
And we're going to take it. We're going to take these kids back. Thank
All
you.
right, well, thank you all very much. We have a couple of folks on the board. Commissioner Gabe Walsh, did you want to say something first?
How everybody doing? Male presence in communities has went down. We're noticed for the negative things that males do. One of the things that I learned, being that I have 2 sons at Southwood, is that male presence plays a big role in their life. The purpose of this was us to just go up to the school and just be positive reinforcements for our children. We learned in the process of that they need male presence, period. Not only through the school, but throughout the world. So I just want to say that if you're a male in your kid's life, try to do something to show them positive and show them love, and we'll see better results in the world. And I want to say thank y'all for this award, and it's been a blessing to me. Amen.
Linda said, I was gonna speak. These guys are phenomenal. I'm the non-parent on the board. I was kept abreast of the first meeting that they had on the 19th, and I've been affiliated with them from the beginning. They hit the ground on the 20th, and a lot of people contact me to do a lot of advocacy work. But some things you have to allow people who are really in the mix, and they're in the mix with their children. They were already involved. So this is not anything new for them. They just now mobilize as a group to come together. We're mapping out security, game plans, programs, and so the purpose now is to use the brand to leverage resources to implement programs at Southwood and the other schools, as Zach talked about. In the morning, just to show you the reach of this, there's a Brazilian station interviewing us in the morning. So this has gone global. Mike said when they came back from New York while they were in the airport, Dubai, in Atlanta, Dubai, from Shreveport, Caddo Parish. And so, like Ken Epperson just said, there are positive things that are going on. So we can now mobilize, organize to work together. Shreveport City Council, Caddo Parish Commission, Caddo Parish School Board, the citizens. Now we can now truly transform Caddo Parish and make it great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I see we've got a couple of guys on the board.
one more.
One more. Commissioner Gage-Watts.
Yeah, she was
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President. I just wouldn't be remiss if I didn't say something to these black men who are standing before me on today. I could not be prouder to support the initiative in which you are working in, and I know that it's a God thing. I've had the opportunity to work with a few of you a time or two, but this is exactly what our world needs today. Is someone who is strong and courageous to get out there on the front lines and say that I am with you and that I love you. Our children are not different children. God is the same God that he was yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forevermore. And what they need is love. And I'm just so grateful that you have stood up and answered the call to go out here into the world and make a difference. It has been said a few times today about the positiveness of Shreveport, of Caddo Parish, the type of promotion that we're getting, and exactly what we need for such a time as this. And I also want to let you know that there are some ladies that I work with at Ochsner LSU Health that wants to bring breakfast to you all. So will you be there tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
And what time?
8 o'clock sharp.
8 o'clock, 7:50.
Well, the ladies from Nuclear Medicine will be bringing you breakfast in the morning, right? So again, thank you, congratulations, and thank you for all that you're doing for others. It truly makes a difference.
Commissioner Burrell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, gentlemen, I want to commend you also. It is, it is not a new idea. It's the first time it's been this successful.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you all have made clearly a difference in a lot of kids' lives. We always talk about the black fathers and in the black homes, and we talk about the black fathers as it relates to the young black men.
Yes, sir.
But young ladies need them just as much
Yes,
or
sir.
more. And I'm so glad that you're out there doing what you're doing, and anything that I can do. I kind of consider myself doing this years back at
Yes, sir.
LTI over
Yes,
in
sir.
Monroe, the institution for boys.
Yes, sir.
And many of the young men that I sat and talked with, much of what they talked about was the lack of having a father
Yes, sir.
there. And they came, and one of the most disheartening things that they told me when I was at Northeast, working there at LTI, trying to work my way through school,
Yes, sir.
was that they came back to, I asked them, I said, well, why would you want to come back to a place like this? And the young man said, that's where all my friends are. And that was so.
That's why I love it.
So again, keep up the good work.
I appreciate it.
Commissioner Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to thank you guys for what you're doing for our community, for our school system, for your families and the friends of your children's families. It's really so important and such a monumental contribution, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I read about you in the paper, and I was wondering how you guys were so successful, and then when I met you in person, I can see you're much more convincing in person than you are in a photograph in the paper. But thank you all for what you do. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Caddo.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to publicly say thank you guys. This is a stroke of genius as it relates to putting this together. And what you guys are doing, you guys should definitely be applauded. And it gave me a lot of pride and a sense of well-being when I saw you guys on all those national programs, the Roland Martin Show, Don Lemon, The View, and it was always good to see Shreveport in a positive light. Although it's a challenging issue, but it sets the tone for what may be replicated around the country. So hats off to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Commissioner Cage, what?
One quick question. How many will be there in the morning?
About 7, 8.
All right.
We got
Said 9.
different shifts. It'd be 10, because I got 2 pastors coming through in the
There you
morning,
go.
and we collaborating on some stuff, so 10.
All right. Thank you.
Cheating, we all might.
Yes,
It's only for dads on duty.
Okay, I saw another commissioner on the board that got wiped off. Commissioner Talaferro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Gentlemen, I commend you. Coming from a law enforcement background, oftentimes people expect cops to do it all, and we know that it is a community involvement. Stormy was right on the mark, is that these kids have not changed. Their needs have not changed from when we grew up. We all need to be valued, we need to have love, and we need to have support. And I appreciate you being there in the trenches, on the front line, being the tip of the spear, you know, for those of us that can't be there. And I know that you are destined, if not already, to change the lives of so many that you come in contact with, you know, in a positive manner. And so I commend you, you know, for being the dads on duty. And
Yes, sir.
thank you so much.
School board member Tony Nation wanted to also say something.
These guys know that I'm very proud of what they're doing. In full support, as a board member, Southwood is in my district. Yes, we had some unfortunate incidents a few weeks back, but with the efforts of these guys, and then we organized a student-led prayer vigil that was done in late September that kind of put a spirit of God's protection upon that campus. But there's a lot of good going on at Southwood, and this is just one of those efforts that we're trying to highlight. But I appreciate what they're doing. You know, we hear so much about single moms raising kids. You know, years ago I was a juvenile probation officer for Caddo Parish Juvenile Court, and half of my caseload was what they called children in need of supervision. They were truant. They were staying out past curfew. They were not obeying their parents' rules. And one of the main factors in that they're being under the auspices of the court was that they didn't have a male role model in the house. No dad, no older brother, no uncle, no grandfather. And it makes a big difference when dads step up to the plate, and because kids need that. Daughters, sons, they all need that. They need mom and a dad. And these guys are really doing a yeoman's work, and we on the board appreciate them. And me, as their particular school board member, am so appreciative of the efforts they're making, and it's making a huge impact. I promise you that. So thank you for indulging me for a few moments. I wanted to put my 2 cents worth there in it, and thank these guys for what they're doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Next item.
All right, that brings us to a special resolution for Alan Clark, item 8.4.
Move to adopt.
Second.
And moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Burrell. We can go ahead and vote, and Commissioner Atkins had something to say before we vote.
Ready?
Before we vote?
All right, Commissioner, thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Chavez asked me to say a few words on his behalf. Unfortunately, he is out today. Forgive me, my glasses aren't quite working with my text, but I'm doing the best I can to work through this text message. Commissioner Chavez wanted me to express to you, Mr. Clark, that he regrets that his travel plans keep him from attending this very important meeting, to recognize your accomplishments and to express his appreciation for your good work. We all know that the MPC has had some trying times over the past few years, but since Mr. Clark took the reins, I cannot count the number of meetings that we have attended and the willingness he has had to work with everyone from the city to the parish, and most importantly, the business community, to resolve our zoning and community issues. I know it's not where we want to be, but with the addition of the upgraded website and the constant neighborhood participation meetings, and we will achieve the planning commission model that works for everyone. So we all appreciate your work, Mr. Clark. Again, we all don't agree on everything, but you've made great strides in the MPC, and those strides are largely due to your leadership. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Let's vote. And go ahead.
Oh, I forgot to vote.
Yeah, go ahead, vote.
All right, and that motion carries with 8 in support and 1 in opposition. And I will begin reading the resolution of recognition for Alan.
Please stand. It's gonna be like we in church.
Sorry. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission desires to acknowledge and commend individuals whose lives and efforts are devoted to helping Caddo Parish and who strive to make a difference in the community through the pursuit of excellence in their professions. And whereas such an individual is Mr. Alan Clark, Executive Director of the Shreveport-Caddo Metropolitan Planning Commission, who was recently honored as the recipient of the prestigious American Planning Association Louisiana Chapter's 2020 Achievement Award for Leadership, presented during a ceremony in Lafayette, Louisiana on October 29, 2021. And whereas Mr. Clark was awarded the Achievement Award for Leadership from the American Planning Association in 2020, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic was unable to accept the award in person until this year's APA conference, where his 40-plus year career in planning was honored. His most recent work as the Executive Director of the Metropolitan Planning Commission, as well as the more than 27 years that he spent as the Zoning Administrator for the Metropolitan Planning Commission, and more than 14 years that he spent as a planner for the Shreveport Department of Economic Development were all recognized. And whereas Mr. Clark's role in the Shreveport-Caddo Great Expectations Master Plan 2030, the Caddo Unified Development Code, the Shreveport Unified Development Code, and the Shreveport Unified Development Code were noted, so was his support of other planners, as evidenced by his willingness to host events and attend workshops to ensure awareness of best practices. His peers also noted that Clark has left an indelible mark on the future of Shreveport, epitomizing the role of a well-rounded community planner who has been able to form a strong planning process, foster community participation, and construct a creative yet durable plan of action, making him a people's planner. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission that it does hereby extend its heartiest expressions of commendation and appreciation to Mr. Alan Clark for his untiring efforts on behalf of Caddo Parish Planning and Zoning, and wishing him much continued success.
You may be seated.
Quick photo, and then we'll. Thank you, Mr. Clark. I'll leave you with the mic.
If I may, just for a brief period of time, to the Caddo Parish Commission, when you take on challenges like I took on with planning in North Louisiana, you never expect to ever stand before such an august, esteemed body and accept an award. You know it's going to be tough. You know it's going to be challenging. You know that many times you will be at odds with many different people. I often think when I did this, I reflect back on that old Negro spiritual that stated, I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to lead me. And I thank you so much for this presentation. I love Caddo Parish. I've been in Caddo Parish all of my working years after leaving Northeast, Commissioner Burrell, and I've given everything that I've had to Caddo Parish, from working with young people to working with adults to working with economically disadvantaged, economically challenged individuals, to dealing with zoning, planning, and making the city of Shreveport and the parish of Caddo a better place to live for all of its citizens. So thank you ever so much. I truly appreciate it. It's an honor to be even spoken of in the same meeting with Ms. Snell, the dads on duty, and all of the other esteemed persons that you recognize. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Burrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to commend my former college mate on behalf of the black students of Northeast Louisiana University, later becoming the University of Louisiana in Monroe. We're all proud of you. We've had a lot of good products to come out from there. And as you know, during that time, it was very challenging for us being only 900 black students on a 10,000 student campus. It was really tough, but you were one of the ones who was able to come out and make some accomplishments, many accomplishments. The other thing is that I wondered when I was on the city council who would take over after Charles Kirkland, but they had someone else to step in afterwards. But I was glad to see that they saw the value in you to take over that spot, and you're doing a wonderful job. So again, I thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Clark, thank you for the work that you do. We go back some many years. I probably can tell somebody that they didn't know that he plays the organ. He was the organ player at the church I grew up in. And I was one of the youth that he just talking about he mentored growing up. So
You didn't do a good job on that one.
that's fine. If I'd been any better, I'd probably be governor of the state of Louisiana. But I do appreciate the time you spent as I was growing up as a youth, and even the relationship we have now when it's coming to zoning and issues that I might have with the UDC. Thank you. Commissioner Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Clark, I wouldn't dare miss this opportunity to tell you publicly and express my gratitude for everything that you have done for our community and that you are still doing. I really appreciate you. I know you on a personal level as well on a business level, but the representation that you give to Caddo Parish, to the city of Shreveport, to our state of Louisiana is absolutely commendable. And we believe in giving you your flowers while you can still smell them. So congratulations on all of your achievements. And I know that even now, the best is yet to come.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be brief. I just want to thank you for the work that service you delivered to the NPC. I know you came to the head under some difficult situations, but you weathered the ship. You got it back in the middle of the pond, and you're driving it down the screen. So you should be applauded. And once again, I want to give you flowers while you're living. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Wilson.
Yes, sir. Mr. Clark, I'd like to extend my congratulations to you as well. You work very well with us. We appreciate it. And I know you're a very dedicated person, and I appreciate your dedication like others that echoed here today. Job well done, and keep going.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Mr. Clark, for all the hard work you do. Next item.
The next item that we had, you want me to go to the next one for presentation?
That's Parish LaCour.
That's what I thought. Yes, we'll go to Parish LaCour. It's the special resolution of appreciation and recognition for Parish LaCour.
So move.
Second. Been moved by Stormy Gage Watts, Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts, and seconded by Commissioner John Atkins. Let's vote.
Need a hand?
You sure?
Motion carries with 9 in support, none in opposition, and 3 absent. If you'd like, I'll go ahead and begin reading.
Thank you.
The resolution of recognition for Parish LaCour. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission is always pleased to recognize...
Oh, please stand.
Yes, please. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission is always pleased to recognize and honor those sons and daughters of Caddo Parish who've gone forth to gain singular and outstanding personal achievements, and in doing so, reflect favorably and positively upon their home community. And whereas Miss Paris LaCour, a Shreveport native who at 10 years old has taken the worlds of fashion and footwear by storm, with her vibrant sneaker design that features positive messages and bold, meaningful colors. And whereas Paris's shoe design is currently in production through Alive Shoes and are produced in Italy of Italian leather, the shoe, which is named with a backwards spelling of Paris, is called the Serape, and it reflects the personality of the designer with the encouraging phrase, "Never give up, because great things take time," inside the tongue of each shoe to remind the wearer of their strength and ability to persevere through challenges. and contrasting colors of purple, pink, yellow, and dark blue symbolizing her love of LSU, her favorite color of blue, and a contrasting pink to express passion. And whereas LaCour also designed the graphics on the shoebox along with the support of her mother, and they accompany the Paris Nicole collection, which she was inspired to start because she loves to help other young women feel pretty and express themselves through fashion. She's developed her and pursued her interests while a student at Walnut Hill Elementary and has been recognized as a standout student by KTAL and featured in news stories and interviews by KSLA and other local news media. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission in legal and regular session on this 4th day of November 2021 that it does hereby extend its most sincere and heartfelt expressions of recognition and appreciation to Miss Paris LaCour for her praiseworthy achievements in fashion, entrepreneurial spirit, and for representing Caddo Parish with your creative, caring, and bold personality. We ask all Caddo citizens to join us in our recognition and celebration of Miss LaCour's talents and accomplishments, which have brought pride to our community.
You may be seated.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Paris, we, as you heard in this resolution, we believe that it's important to recognize and highlight and honor our citizens in Caddo Parish that are doing extraordinary things. We are so proud of you. You probably are the youngest entrepreneur that we have honored. I don't know, we may have to check this history, but I believe that you may be the youngest citizen that we have honored on this level. I believe that it was imperative for our citizens in Caddo Parish to know how hard you're working, exactly what your product is about. It's inspirational, and all of our children are not doing bad. We got some that are doing amazing things right here in Caddo Parish. It was a great day for you to be here to see some of our other honorees that received recognition on today, and you are in line with them. And I know that you have a few other businesses that we didn't even talk about in here that I found out that you also do jewelry and hair oil. You are a busy young lady. Wow. And you're doing well at school. And again, congratulations. And I would like to order my very first pair of Seraps from you also. And I hope that my colleagues will purchase some also. I need those shoes now. You got anything you want to say? Tell us what inspired you. Get your shoes. How you want them to feel when they wear your shoes?
I want them to feel good.
You want them to feel good. And what does the inspirational message say on the inside?
It says never give up because great things take time.
Yes, they do.
That's a good saying. I like that.
Yes. Thank you for that reminder, Paris. And I think some of my other colleagues want to say something to you also.
Commissioner Burrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I definitely didn't want to miss this opportunity for this young entrepreneur. You know, she reminded me of at least 1,000 kids that we have put through our entrepreneurship program, and many of them now starting their own business. I know she has not been to my program because I know all 1,000 of them, and I haven't seen her face yet. I'm not sure how old she is, but if she's between 13 and 17 and need a wonderful summer program, although I have resigned from our board, I still work with them. The Biz Camp program that we have here in Shreveport, it will teach you how to actually start and run your business. Although you may know that already, I know you can design. We have a lot of youngsters that have projects and products that they develop, but they don't know how to put their business together. That's what we do in our program for the last 20 years, and we've graduated over 1,000 youngsters. And that last name, LaCour, that's from off of Cane River. So I'm sure that your relatives are from down there because that's where that name came from. again, we want to commend you and keep up the good work. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, Parish, I'm gonna give you a little advice. Get you some red and white, some pink and green, some blue and gold, and some blue and white shoes that you decorate, and you'll make you a lot of money. Because those are women that are in sororities, that are their colors, and they will buy them. There's a lot of them in Shreveport that will buy them. So you can make your money locally real fast, and it will travel throughout the United States. But I'm glad to see that, today shows that we have a lot of positive things happening in Caddo Parish. And I hate the fact that there's not a single news camera sitting in this corner. When it's controversial stuff, when it's bad information, they're in that corner. But today, it was positive news all the way around, dealing with what we see as our Caddo Parish citizens in this parish. And they'll pick up on the video feed of it, but we need them to be here all the time to get this information so that they can see firsthand, because this would have been a beautiful opportunity to get all those interviews out in the foyer area. And how they gonna catch you now? They got to call you at the house and get you on Zoom. They could have been here. But keep up the good work, and you should win every little Caddo Parish Award for entrepreneurship this year and moving forward. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr.
Mom,
President.
did you want to say anything?
I would like to first give honor to God, and I would like to say thank you to you all for inviting me. We both nervous, but it's really a blessing to be able to receive this award. And I want to tell all parents, I'm a single parent, listen to your kids, find out what your kids like, and love your kids, talk with your kids, because a lot of parents don't know what their kids, maybe thinking that they want to do, but they're only doing things that their mom or dad want them to do. I let Paris decide what she wants to do. And she bees on her iPad and phone all day when she finishes her homework. So I say, you like designing? So we started curating things, and she loved it. And she hopes that they can be in stores one day. We hope and wish that the whole Shreveport would purchase a pair of her shoes. Selling 50 pair would get her to Italy. They're gonna do a professional photo shoot with her. They're gonna build her own e-commerce page. And also, they're gonna make more shoes off of her own sketches. So I think right now we're at number 47. And once we get 50, it could be plenty more sold, but that was our limit. And once we sell 50, she'll been sold $10,000 worth of shoes. Wow. So we would
She
like
get
to say
them orders
thank
in
you
here
all.
today. She should make it them orders today to hit 50.
Right. I think she could. Thank you
Commissioner
all.
Talaferro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I really just wanted to hear from Mom, because I know that Mom's very proud, and I know that this happened because you listened,
Right.
and this happened because she probably got a little of an entrepreneur spirit from Mom, and so I commend you both, and I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that. So thank you very much for representing Caddo and your positive message that you're sending out to everyone that purchases your shoes. Regardless if they're children or adults, we need to hear that message every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Burrell.
I just want to make a second comment, Mr. Chairman, because this is in my bailiwick, and that's to the mother. Many of these, a lot of people say that kids can't start businesses, but they can. You just plant that seed, or sometimes they plant their own seed, and just let them go. And when they do that, you'd be surprised how creative they can be. Like I said, we've graduated over 1,000 young entrepreneurs who came there with no idea, couldn't even spell the word.
Right.
But many of them now are walking around in Shreveport and elsewhere that have started their business because they never had the opportunity. They did not grow up in a family that had a business person or someone in their family to actually start a business. Many of them did grow up in a family that had jobs, but jobs are not businesses. So it takes a lot of creative skill, young lady, so I commend you on that. Just as an example, one of our students was a young artist. He liked to draw. and he liked clothes. He put his design on, started on tennis shoes, and then started put them on denim jackets. Started ordering his jackets from, China, but started a whole urban line of clothing in Atlanta. So he went to our program, but he lives in Atlanta now, and he has an urban clothing line. So just keep it up. I'm looking to see you on the front of magazines one day. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And she has her shoes on too, if y'all would like to see them.
We both have them on.
All right.
And it's the tongue, never give up, because great things take time. Her name spelled backwards. And everything from the sole to the stitch, the colors was designed by her. And it's 100% Italian leather.
How much does a pair of those cost?
They $190, but with a discount, you can get them for like $184. But shipping is free and returns are free because they're coming from Italy. So they doing all the packaging and the box, it's her face on the box, and they ship them to you.
Okay.
And you can buy in bulk orders, or you can buy, one pair at a time.
Like I said, you ought to be able to get that 50 number today. You're real close.
Yes, thank you.
And just quickly, what sizes are they available in? People
Sorry?
might want to know that.
What sizes?
In the men's sizes, they come from a 7 to a size 17 and a half. And female, they start from a 6 to a size 14.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you
they're
said that
unisex.
she's online right now, or are you
Yes,
developing
sir.
your
Y'all
website?
can go on www.aliveshoes.com/Paris-2. And it's alive as ALIVESHOE.com, and Paris, PARIS-2.
Thank you.
Well, you got the right name.
Now move that we go back to our regular session agenda.
Second.
Been moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Atkins. Passes by acclamation. Yes. Okay. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Brings us back to visitors. We have no scheduled visitors today. So that would bring us to adopting regular session minutes, where you have your regular session minutes as well as the special session minutes from the recent property standards hearing.
Move to adopt both regular session and special session minutes.
It's been moved to adopt the special session and the regular session minutes by Commissioner Atkins and seconded by Commissioner Gage Watts. Seeing no one on the board, let's vote.
And that motion carries with 8 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. And that brings us to special resolutions, where we have accepted a number of the special resolutions already. The first item is one that needs to be rescheduled, so we'll skip that. And that brings us to a special resolution of remembrance for Tony Rhodes.
Move to adopt special
Second.
resolution for the remembrance of Tony Rhodes.
Second.
I want to adopt and englobo that one, the National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month, and special resolution proclaiming National Diabetes Awareness Month.
Second.
Been moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Burrell to englobo and adopt those special resolutions. Seeing no one on the board, let's vote.
All right, and that motion carries with 8 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. That brings us to a public hearing on zoning ordinances in cases of which we have none scheduled today. So we'll move forward to the public hearing on ordinances. If you'd like, I'll go ahead and read all of the ordinances and you can open one public hearing, or would you like to do them one at a time?
No, read all of them and then
Got it.
one public hearing.
So the first item, 10.1, is a public hearing for ordinance number 6101 of 2021. That's an ordinance amending and reenacting section 32-46.1 of the Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances regarding the carrying of weapons and otherwise providing with respect thereto. The next item is a public hearing on ordinance number 6117 of 2021, an ordinance amending the Caddo Parish personnel policy to require that all parish employees hired, appointed, or promoted to parish attorney, assistant parish administrator, CEO, department director, or commission clerk must be residents of Caddo Parish and otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is a public hearing for ordinance number 6119 of 2021. That's an ordinance adopting the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Shreve Memorial Library for the year 2022. And those are the items under this section today.
Public hearing is now open for ordinances 6101, 6117, 6119 of 2021. Anyone that wants to speak in favor or against any of these ordinances may come now. Seeing no one, public hearing is now closed.
All right, that brings us to zoning ordinances for final passage. There are none scheduled today, so we'll move forward to ordinances for final passage, where the first item is ordinance number 6101 of 2021. That's the ordinance amending and reenacting section 32-46.1 of the Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances regarding the carrying of weapons and otherwise providing with respect thereto. This is an item that had been reviewed by, I believe, the Juvenile
Move to
Justice
adopt.
Committee.
Second.
Gotta wake up. Been moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Talaferro. Commissioner Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. Attorney Fraser, I think I emailed you earlier today, and I neglected to check my email again to see if you responded about the question about having a weapon in your seat and whether that amounts to carrying on your person. Did you get that email?
I did, and I did respond. What I sent that the current phrasing or carrying on your person would not cover the situation where the gun is like laying somewhere else in the car.
Mm-hmm.
However, upon doing research, I noticed it's the same in a firearm-free zone, and I sent you that legislation with the portion highlighted in the firearm-free zone. But what it will do if the change is made to carrying it on your person, it would give law enforcement more cover to investigate the potential danger. And it also ensures that a person does not take out their gun and walk in the parking lot with it or up to the building with a concealed weapon, and there's no protection in those areas right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Was it correct that the instance that happened at juvenile court in the parking lot, was that weapon in someone's hand or was it on the seat?
It was on the seat.
That's what I thought. Okay, so I just wanted the committee to know that the instance that we're writing this for is not precisely covered by the language that we are writing. That's all, Mr. President. Thank you.
I didn't think I caught that last part.
Oh, so we're writing this legislation about the law pertaining to gun and carrying guns, and it doesn't make it illegal. Just like in the firearm-free zone, it doesn't make it illegal to have a gun on the seat beside you in the car. And that was the set of facts that occurred at juvenile court, was there was a gun on the seat inside of the car. So this is a law about guns, and it restricts gun ownership and makes it a little easier, but it doesn't cover the specific instance that we were thinking about.
As long as it's sitting on the seat, it can't shoot. You know, it's when they.
I just wanted everyone to know.
So
Thank you.
I'm good with that. Commissioner Hopkins.
So, just so I'll understand completely. So if I drive into juvenile court and I park my vehicle and I have my gun in my vehicle, I get out, I walk to the front, go through the building, I'm inside, my gun's in my car, I'm okay?
Yes.
Okay.
But Attorney Fraser, I mean, this also covers not only the juvenile building, but also here as well.
That's correct.
Correct.
So if you pull up here, same situation, it's the same. So
That was kind of part of it. If I come to a meeting and I have a firearm in my vehicle locked up, I'm not gonna get messed with. I'm not gonna be, someone will come out and open my car and have to look at my rifles and my handgun, my bow and arrow, and
Only if you start touching it, then you'll get questioned.
okay.
All right, seeing no one else on the board, let's vote.
All right, and that motion carries with 8 in support and 1 in opposition, 3 absent. And that brings us to the next item, which is ordinance number 6109 of 2021. This ordinance did not have a public hearing today because it already had a public hearing at the last meeting and did not have any changes since the last meeting. It was just postponed until this meeting. Ordinance 6109 is an ordinance amending the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund for the year 2021 to provide an appropriation of $165,300 to provide ballistic vests for Shreveport and Caddo Parish fire districts and otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Moved by Commissioner Taylor-Farrell. Second by Stormy Gateway.
Okay, then moved by
I was
Commissioner
waiting for you to
Taylor-Farrell.
finish that.
Seconded by Commissioner Gage-White. Commissioner Taylor-Farrell, you want to speak to this?
No, I appreciate, thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate everything that the commission has looked at in regards to equipping our firefighters, our EMTs with necessary safety tools, for every day that they go out and do the right thing for us and stand in harm's way. So I commend the members of the commission for taking a hard look at it and demanding the information necessary to be convincing. And I think this is a great move for our firefighters and EMS, not only for Shreveport Fire Department, but also Caddo-wide. Thank you.
And I'm assuming when you write the cooperative endeavor agreement that you're gonna say up to $165,300? Because I know that's the motion I made. It just don't never want to make it to this heading right here for some reason. I think that's the reason why we prolonged it.
That's right.
To say up to, but it's still not there.
We have the document.
So I'm assuming that that's gonna be in the cooperative endeavor agreement.
Yes. We have the documentation. We
Okay.
have the documentation to show the number that has already been purchased, so yes, we will make sure the CEA covers the up to and covers what has already been purchased.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no one else, let's vote.
All right, and that motion carries with 9 in support, none in opposition, and 3 absent. That brings us to ordinance number 6117 of 2021, which is an ordinance amending the Caddo Parish personnel policy to require that all parish employees hired, appointed, or promoted to parish attorney, assistant parish administrator, CEO, department director, or commission clerk must be residents of Caddo Parish and otherwise provide with respect thereto. This ordinance was reviewed and had an amendment that was made under the Personnel Policies and Procedures Committee.
Move to adopt.
Been moved by Commissioner Hopkins, second by me, the chair. Commissioner Hopkins, you want to speak to your motion?
Yeah, this came out of the committee. I still don't like it personally, but it's not about me personally. I think we found common ground to come up with something that would protect all of our employees that are employed at this moment, and anybody hired up until the first of this year, they would be able to be appointed to director or anything like that and still live out. It'll all be based on January 1, 2022. I don't think Mr. Johnson's is totally happy with it. So I guess, sometimes a couple people being unhappy makes good legislation.
Let's compromise.
Common ground. Nobody compromised their principles. How about that?
Yeah. Right.
It's okay.
Attorney Fraser, I'll let you go and then I'll go.
I just had a question. I wanted to make sure that you all intended the requirement not to apply to any position.
That's correct.
For the persons employed as of January 1st, 2022, including the administrator, assistant administrator?
No.
Because the way it reads now, it would apply to all of those positions, not just the director,
And
which
that's,
you are adding.
that's what I was about to say.
So that's where I want to
But
clarify.
it should be just these that were named in the title.
Well, the ones that were named in the
No.
title include the ones that already had that
Okay.
requirement. So that's why
So
that
it's just-
change applies to those as well.
Applies just to the director.
Okay, so
not
somebody,
worded
y'all
right.
gonna need to correct that.
Okay.
before
It's
you
not
pass it.
worded right.
I didn't word it.
You want me to make an
Okay.
amendment?
Yes.
Okay, I'll move to amend to state that,
The January
That-
1st,
that this-
2020
January
requirement-
1, 2022,
grandfathering clause applies to
grandfather clause
department
applies to
directors.
the directors.
Can I just
Okay,
make
you
a
go ahead.
suggestion? The requirement should not apply to persons applying for the position of director if said persons are employed.
Okay,
And
that's fine.
That's simple, and then the rest of it applies as it's always been done.
That they can live anywhere to work.
Right.
They just can't have any of those positions. That-
Not any of those other.
Right. Okay, yep. I'm okay with that.
That's what I wanted, but I mean, I don't know why it's not written in here like that, but okay. So that is an amendment?
That's my amendment to-
this? It's not in the heading, it's in the body. So we got a motion to amend it. I will second it. Anybody else want to speak on it? You got the amendment, Jim?
I do,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
And
Let's vote.
just for clarification, you're not amending the title because it does still apply to persons who are hired after that January date. So you don't have to do that, just amend the body.
That's what I said. Okay. Y'all make my job so hard. Next item,
So that's to amend that's
That's
to
to
amend or amend and adopt. What was the motion?
that was to amend,
Okay.
so that failed. Well, no, that passed. That passed to
Can you
amend.
have 7 votes?
That's how-
It's gotta have 7 votes.
To
To
amend,
amend, you don't, it's just a simple.
Well, we
Now you gotta
amend.
amend and adopt. When you adopt it, you gotta have the 7 votes.
Okay.
But just to amend is just a simple majority.
I thought we were
All right.
amending and adopting.
No, you didn't say that in your motion.
All right,
just
so
to
that
amend.
amendment failed.
So the amendment passed.
well, so I guess
The-
the clarification is whatever the motion was, if it was an amendment, if it was just to amend it, then it carries. If it was a motion to amend and adopt, then it fails.
Then it failed, but he just said to amend. So now we will take the amendment and
So,
adopt it.
so the amended, so now the vote would be, well, we would need a motion. There's not a motion on
That's
the
what I
floor
just-
right now,
that's what
but
I
the
just
motion
did.
would be in
Okay.
regards to the amended,
That's what I just did.
Adopt as amended.
Adopt as amended.
okay.
Okay.
I made the motion to.
Second.
Okay, so it's been moved by the chair and seconded by Commissioner Hopkins. Seeing no one, let's vote.
Okay, and that motion does not carry. It has 6 in support, 3 in opposition, but it does not meet the mark of 7 to be adopted.
I
So-
back on his old business next time.
We'll move on to the next item, which is
Hey, Jim,
ordinance number
Put it back on
61.
the agenda is old business.
I'm sorry.
Put it back on the agenda for the next regular session is old business.
And I have made that note. And one sec.
Regular session.
Okay. Ordinance number 6119 of 2021 is an ordinance adopting the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Shreve Memorial Library for the year 2022.
Move to adopt.
Second. Been moved by Commissioner Hopkins, seconded by Commissioner Atkins to adopt the ordinance 6119 of 2021. Commissioner Hopkins, you want to speak to your
No,
motion?
I think their information that's attached explains everything.
Commissioner Young.
Oh, I just wanted to, thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to check. I remember the last time we talked about this, Commissioner Atkins had a question about the the shortfall in the budget this year of $4.5 million, and I wanted to make sure that his question about that was answered. I didn't hear what the answer to it was.
My recollection, if I may respond.
You may.
My recollection was there were some capital expenditures coming in. I'm still not crazy about pushing the budget, but they're an independent body and, you know. But they had some capital expenditures that pushed them over. One time things.
Seeing no one else, let's vote.
And the motion carries with 9 in support, none in opposition, and 3 absent. And that brings us to the next section on your agenda, zoning ordinances for an introduction by title. We have none today, so we'll move forward to ordinances for introduction by title, where we have a few items today. The first being to introduce ordinance number 6118 of 2021. That's an ordinance amending the budget of estimated revenues for the American Rescue Plan Fund to provide an appropriation for counseling in public high schools in Caddo Parish and otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is to introduce ordinance number 6143 of 2021, an ordinance amending the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Economic Development Fund to provide an appropriation of $6,500 for the USA Boxing National Championship and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is to introduce ordinance number 6144 of 2021, an ordinance to close and abandon a portion of the dedication for East Pine Island Road in the parish of Caddo, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. That's in District 1. That brings us to work session minutes, and we do have your work session minutes attached there.
Been moved by Commissioner Gage Watts to adopt the work session minutes for November 1st, 2021, and seconded by Commissioner Atkins. Seeing no one on the board, let's vote.
And that motion carries with 8 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. That brings us to resolutions, where the first item that you have today is resolution number 78 of 2021. It's a resolution authorizing the Caddo Parish Administrator to enter into an agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, obligating the parish to pay 20% of the construction costs and assume all legal liability for and all maintenance and operating cost of the subject boom or bust scenic view project number H013315 and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Just as a point of information, this item was on your agenda last time, and there was a motion made to make sure that the numbers in it were correctly corresponding to one another. And in reviewing it, the title was the place where the wrong number existed. So the body of the document was correct. The title had the wrong percentage. So those match now, and that adjustment was made, and it's back on your agenda.
I thought it was 10%.
That was the original title, but it's actually 20%.
Okay, I was under the impression it was 10%. Okay. Commissioner Gage Watts.
That was my question, because it's reading 20%. So is it 20%?
Yes, ma'am.
Director Wesley? It is, so 20%. Okay.
So y'all went up 10% on us.
Well, actually, I remember when it was first introduced before our last meeting, it was originally 20%, but it was introduced as 10%, and someone said that they would make the correction. So 20% was the initial construction cost that was asked by the parish when we applied for the grant. Am I correct?
Right, that is
Okay.
correct.
That's correct.
So it was 80-20.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
We done?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Commissioner Young? Okay.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I thought we did.
No.
Okay, my bad. Been moved by Commissioner Hawkins, seconded by Commissioner Atkins to adopt resolution 78.
78.
Seeing no one, let's vote.
All right, and that motion carries with 8 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. And that brings us to resolution number 80 of 2021. That's a resolution approving the issuance of not exceeding $12,500,000 certificate of indebtedness in one or more series of Communications District Number 1 of Caddo Parish, Louisiana, and providing for other matters in connection therewith.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Hopkins and seconded by Commissioner Atkins to adopt resolution number 78.
No, 80. 80, sir.
Resolution number 80 of 2021. Commissioner Hopkins, you want to speak to your motion?
No, again, I think all the information is in the attachment. So I support it.
Commissioner Atkins.
I just want to remind my colleagues and anyone who might be interested that this is a refinancing of an existing note, and it also allows them to reduce their principal and interest payment, and I think frees up an additional $1 million to reinvest. So it's not $12.5 million of new debt. I just want to point that out. Thank you, sir.
For the ultra conservatives to make sure that they, okay. Commissioner Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had a question for, I guess, our administration or legal department. Are we guaranteeing these bonds in some way? How is it that we are called on to approve them?
We're not guaranteeing the bonds. We're not guaranteeing it. It's this entity, like several other entities, the enabling legislation requires that they get our approval before they go out for indebtedness like this.
Do they share our bond rating because of that?
Martha, you want to come up to address some of this?
Yes.
So these have a AAA bond rating because they get permission from us to borrow the money, but we don't guarantee that the money gets paid back.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Hi, I'm Martha Carter, and I'm with the Caddo Parish 911 District. As Vice President Atkins pointed out, in 2017, we came before you to ask for the original certificate of indebtedness for us to go to the Bond Commission to fund our radio project. Since that time, we have implemented the radio system, but we had an opportunity to refinance, reduce our debt, extend it 4 years, but also free up about $1.6 million for us to do some facility refresh. This does not make a commitment on behalf of the parish. It does not make any impact to you being able to get additional debt if we default strictly on the communications district. It's a constitutional issue from what we have been told, that because you created us, the State Bond Commission requires us to get permission from our governing authority or our creating authority. So this is more of a making sure that we're accountable to the citizens of Caddo Parish, that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, but also getting the necessary approvals for us to go to the State Bond Commission.
Well said.
And to follow up on Commissioner Young's question, if I may, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
How is it? Do you all have a AAA rating?
Yes, sir, we do.
And is that somehow tied to our AAA rating, or is it your own earned AAA rating?
It's our own earned rating. It has no impact as far as the Parish Commission is concerned.
Great, thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome.
May I ask one?
You have the floor.
Oh, thank you. I thought so. May I ask, what are the revenue sources that you have that allow you to pay back your indebtedness?
Our revenue is solely generated from telephone surcharge fees on the phone bills. If you have a wireline phone, whether it be residential, business, wireless, prepaid wireless, that revenue is a surcharge fee that the voters of Caddo Parish actually approved when the 911 district was created. So we have our own state enabling legislation, and our surcharge fees are assessed based upon billing location, based upon those citizens that live in Caddo Parish.
So you have a pretty guaranteed stream of income from
Yes,
those
sir,
fees.
we do. And of course, every time we apply for the Bond Commission, and this is our 4th or 5th time to be able to go to the Bond Commission to do different things for communications enhancements, we have to provide them with revenue projections. We have to provide them with information relevant, not whether we have the revenue stream to be able to pay it back. I also would like to, this is an opportunity to say that we are required to have an external financial audit conducted every year, and we have not had a management letter in 33 years. So just want to go ahead and have that on record as well.
Terrific. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So
And
you got 2 cell phones, you're paying twice the money.
okay, and so Attorney Bernstein, as an ethics question, are we allowed to invest in these bonds, commissioners? They sound like it might be a good investment is all.
Yeah, yeah. That's a question I would have to look up.
Okay, yeah, well, give me a call later on. Thank you. That's all, Mr. President.
If you invest in it and you vote on it, that is a conflict of interest. That's the easy one. That's easy. If you invest and you vote, conflict of interest.
You just have to abstain.
Yeah, so don't invest.
Don't vote.
I would say don't invest. All right, no other questions. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you,
Thank you, Mark.
appreciate it.
Let's vote. Now, once you vote, you can't invest.
So you gonna abstain now?
Yeah, your fans good, yeah, but not you.
I'm going for sneakers.
Good choice.
All right, that motion carries with 8 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. And that, I'm sorry, let me make that note. That brings us to resolution number 81 of 2021, a resolution giving notice of intention to create an economic development district known as the I-49 North Corridor Economic Development District and otherwise providing with respect thereto. The resolution is attached also the other day. For whatever reason, the attachment did not upload all the way, but it is uploaded today. It's a relatively large file, but it's on there now.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Hopkins, seconded by Commissioner Lazarus. Okay. To adopt resolution number 81 of 2021. Commissioner Hopkins, you want to speak to your motion?
This is just the creating that I-49 corridor economic district, and it just drawing the boundaries at this time. You know, a lot of questions will come up when we get ready to do the meat of the ordinance for this, but this is just to draw the boundaries. I have a meeting both with 2 of the municipalities in the next couple of weeks, and they will give consent. I'm giving the information for them to give consent, because we will need that, because there are little slivers that fall in that district, and they can either be part of it or we can redraw them out. But we'll know when it gets a little closer. This has to be advertised for twice?
2 printings.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Burrell.
Mr. Chairman, I know that there was a economic development district designed for I-49 to accommodate the travel center that's up there. How does this conform to that one, or does it? Because when I asked the question the other day about Highway 173 intersecting I-49, you told me that's that's the southern boundary of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the north boundary.
That's the southern or northern boundary of it.
That's the north part of 173. The south part of 173 is right there by Cross Lake.
Yeah, I understand that. That's not my question.
Okay, well, I will.
In terms of where your boundary, southern boundary for your TIF.
Right.
That
The
is where-
southern boundary will be 173. Just that intersection of I-49 and 173, which is east of Blanchard.
Okay.
And then
Is
the
it within
northern
the-
part will be 168.
Is it within the boundaries of the one that we're working through economic development? I know with Mr. Carlton, when we had that meeting for I-49.
Yeah, those are all one. There's like 8 interchanges, and that's all one district. There's a 9th interchange that's separate.
So we're just doing the interchanges, not the...
We're not, yes, we're just doing the interchanges.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
They
That's
have
what was confusing.
there are no dwellings that are drawn into the district. There cannot be people who live inside this economic district. So it's just basically agricultural land at this time.
But we're not including the property between the intersections, is what I'm hearing.
No, because a lot of that's right away.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
See no one else, let's vote.
Okay, and that motion carries with 9 in support, none in opposition, and 3 absent. That brings us to old business, where we do have a few items today. The first item under old business is ordinance number 6103 of 2021. That's the ordinance that creates the Amazon TIF district, and it was postponed in order for the city of Shreveport to take some action. They have not been able to take action on that yet, so it would be in order to postpone it.
I move to delay on request of Commissioner Jackson.
Second.
Delay to when?
2 weeks. The City of Shreveport will meet next week, and they will discuss and send out any legislation they decide upon.
So it's been moved to delay ordinance 6103 of 2021 for 2 weeks. Been moved by Commissioner Hopkins, seconded by Commissioner Young. Commissioner Hopkins, you want to speak anything
I
else?
said enough.
Okay, let's vote.
All right, and that motion carries with 9 in support, none in opposition, and 3 absent. That brings us to resolution number 72 of 2021. It's a resolution to authorize the Caddo Parish Administrator to request and authorize the Louisiana State Mineral and Energy Board and the Office of Mineral Resources to accept nominations and advertise for oil, gas, and mineral leases, accept bids and awards, and execute oil and gas mineral leases
Move to
on certain...
englobo resolution 72 and 73
Second.
to delay those until 2 weeks.
Second.
It's delay.
Been moved by the chair and seconded by Commissioner Carton to delay those two. And the reason I say I wanted to delay them, the commissioner of that district is not here. He had opposition to that earlier. So
Can we do my district then?
I thought both of them was his.
No, one of them is mine.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Mr.
I'll
Weaver,
take-
which one is mine? I've gotten, there was another number, so I just want to be sure.
All right, I thought both of them was 12.
No, sir.
No,
All
no,
right.
miss.
Well, I'll look at it if it'll pull up.
That's why it's important to put the district when we do these resolutions,
Yeah, we will in the
so we'll
future.
know where it's at.
We will in the
72
future.
is still.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one is Todd. and the second
Okay.
one is,
All right, so I will withdraw my motion.
Move to.
Second.
Go ahead.
So
I move
the
to approve resolution number 72.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Atkins, seconded by Commissioner Hopkins to approve resolution number 72 of 2021. Let's vote.
And that motion carries with 8 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. And that brings us to resolution number 73, which is the resolution to authorize the Caddo Parish Administrator to request and authorize the Louisiana State Mineral and Energy Board and the Office of Mineral Resources to accept nominations
Move to
advertised
delay
for...
resolution 72 for 2 weeks.
Second.
Been moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Hopkins. Let's vote.
And that motion carries with 8 in support, none in opposition, and 4 absent. That brings us to new business, where we don't have any items under new business today. So we move on to communiques and committee reports, where the first item under that section is the administration response to information requests from commissioners.
Yeah. Commissioner Johnson, we don't have anything to report today, sir.
Have we started with the welcome signs yet? I know the locations have been selected and all
Yes,
of
sir.
that.
Yeah, we've gotten approval to do it, and we've told the, we're bidding it out, so that's moving forward.
We're waiting on the bids.
Yes.
Okay.
We got Kevin here to give you an update on it.
So,
Waiting on the bids.
just a question.
Yes.
Why we don't do some of this in parallel? I mean,
We had, if the state disapproved it, we wouldn't have been able to go farther. Subject to state approval, that's why the delay
I know, but if you went out for bid at the same time, we were waiting on the state's approval, then
We couldn't do that.
Because
Commissioner,
documents
if
wouldn't be
can't.
correct that they would be bidding on. We didn't know the requirements from the DOTD to put into the documents that they had to bid on until they finally approved it and told us what they were requiring in the sign.
okay.
We had to pre-bid this week. We opened up bids on November the 15th. And as soon as we open those up, I'll shoot an email out and let everybody know what the prices were and then what our next step will be.
Okay.
All right, sir?
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Commissioner Burrell?
Thanks, Kevin.
Just want to inform the commission that we are continuing to,
Just communicate?
yeah.
Not yet. What else, anything else you got, Dr. Wilson?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
That's-
All right. Then we go to communicate.
Communications and committee reports.
All right.
Well, I thought that's where we were.
Well, I just
Oh,
wanted to
for
make
that
sure,
note.
I wanted to make sure everybody was straight. Go ahead.
Okay, again, I just want to inform the commission that we are continuing to receive requests on from broadband providers. And Woody, we need to set those meetings up. I did get your email, and I think I got one from Tracy.
Yeah, from Tracy. Yeah, he's
about
gonna set the,
AT&T.
another meeting for us to talk with the veneer. I think that's the next company
Yeah,
we're gonna
and
talk to next.
I had a question as to whether or not Veneer, was it Veneer? Funny name.
Yes, sir.
Was the same one as Glen Coast.
Yeah, it may be one and the same. I thought it sounded like they were one and the same to me. But we'll validate that because we've
Yeah, I
already met
noticed
with them.
You noted that on a document that you sent.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if that's the same.
I think so. I think the same one that Dr. John George recommended for us to meet with. I think that's the same folks. Because the prices are the same too, $12,500 a month.
Okay, well, maybe
I think it's the same
then.
group.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think also I saw something on the news where there was a company, maybe Amazon or something, that's putting satellites up for broadband reception,
I know
Wi-Fi reception.
I know Tesla is.
Starlink.
I'm not sure, but Amazon.
Or Tesla, somebody. was
Yeah,
doing it.
Tesla, that's correct.
All right,
Elon
so
Musk,
it
Starlink.
seemed like that would also be an avenue that they would have they can do it worldwide with all those satellites they put up in the sky.
Right.
Instead of trying to run line, we can just get the signal
Yes,
from
sir.
We have to make sure that the signal is
Yeah.
the proper megabit.
Well, I'm quite sure.
Whether
I
it's
mean,
5G, 4G, whatever.
all these new cars, you can go anywhere and they can track you, know where you at. So
Yeah, that's true.
just a thought.
Yeah.
Any
Well-
other communiques?
Move to adjourn.
Well, got one more.
We got a president's report.
I won't say nothing today. I think we talked enough.
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
No,
Citizens'
no
comments,
citizens'
late
comments.
arrivals, we've not received any.
We're adjourned.